Hello there and welcome to RDA4U's podcast on how to pass the Registered Dental Assistance examinations here in California. I'm so glad you've joined me. My name is Melody and I will walk you through all the information you need in order to take and pass the RDA exams. First thing you need to know is how to apply for the exams. You want to get your application from the Dental Board's website, www.dbc.ca.gov. The website looks like this, and you'll click on the tab towards the top that says Applicants. When you click on that tab, you will get to another tab that says Registered Dental Assistants. You're going to click on that one. And you'll get to this page here that says how to become a licensed registered dental assistant. Once you click on that tab, you will get to this page here. Now, the first thing you need to know is whether or not you are eligible to take the exam. Click on how to qualify for examinations, and you'll get this page here. And there are 3 ways you can qualify to take the examinations. The first one is by graduating from a board-approved RDA educational program with a minimum of 800 hours. This program is a program such that we offer at Sacramento City College, where I work full-time. There are lots of other programs around the state of California, both private and public programs that you can take. And there's a whole list of the programs on the Dental Board's website if you need that information. Another way you can qualify is through 15 months work experience on the job training under the supervision of a licensed dentist, and that can be anywhere in the United States. Or the third way is by taking a 4-month educational in California ROP program and 11 months on the job training. Once you know that you've qualified to take the exam, then if you click the back button from there, you get back to this page here on the applications, and the top section there talks about what you need to do in order to get your RDA license. Numbers 1, 2, and 3 talk about successfully passing the 3 exams that you're going to be taking. So obviously you have to pass those exams in order to become licensed in California as an RDA. But even in order to apply for the exams, you have to have done numbers 4 and 5. 4 is successfully completing the board-approved course in coronal polish and radiation safety. So those are 2 separate courses that you need to take and pass. You also have to have successfully completed a course in the Dental Practice Act, as well as an 8-hour infection control course. And you need to have a current CPR certification, Basic Life Support CPR. All of those need to be completed in order to even apply to take the 3 exams mentioned in numbers 1, 2, and 3. Now, if you have graduated from a board-approved program, those 4 things or 5 things were already included in your program. Nothing further needs to be done with those other than showing proof of graduating from that program with your application, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Number 6 is talking about being fingerprinted, and I'll go into further detail about that shortly. If you have not completed any of these programs, the coronal polishing, radiation safety, Dental Practice Act, the 8-hour infection control, there is a listing of the approved programs that you can go through here on the website. So if you click on this link here, Educational Programs and Courses, you'll get a whole list of all the places where you can take these classes that are approved through the Dental Board. Now we need to get to the right application. So you'll click on Examinations, and you'll see that there are 2 RDA applications available. The first one is for work experience. So if you are qualifying to take the exam by the 15 months work experience on the job, you'll want to make sure you fill out the first application. If you're qualifying by education, going through a board-approved program, you'll want to click on the second link and download the RDA application via education. It will look like this. You'll fill it out. It is a 12-page document, but the application itself is only the first 4 pages. Pages 5 through 11 are a bunch of instructions that look like this. And the very last page is a fingerprinting request form that you will need to print and will need to take with you to a live scan location to be fingerprinted. You will want to get your fingerprinting done as soon as you have submitted your application to the dental board to take the exams. So take this form with you to a live scan location. To find a live scan location, the easiest way to do that is just to go on the internet, Google live scan services, and look for a location close to you. Usually it costs about $75 to be fingerprinted in this manner. So how do you know when to apply? The next link on the dental board's website you'll see here is the exam schedule. So you'll click on whatever year this is that you're looking for an exam, and you'll get a schedule that looks like this. Now what you're doing is applying to take the practical exam first. So you're submitting your application. It's a little confusing. You're submitting your application based on applying for the practical exam, and then it gets the ball rolling to allow you to take the written exams as well. So if you look at this examination schedule here, you'll see a filing period on the far right-hand side for the 4 exams that are exam cycles that are given each year. The exams are given February, April, August, and November. If you're interested, for example, in taking the November exam, you would look towards the bottom there and you'll see the November exams there on the left. Follow it all the way over to the right and notice that you have to apply for those exams quite a bit earlier than the exams are actually given. In fact, it's usually 60 days before each exam. So you'll notice here that August 3rd through September 3rd, 2013 was the filing period for the November 2nd and 3rd and the November 16th and 17th exams. You can specify on your application which exam you'd like to take. On the RDA application, there is a spot, as you can see there on the bottom of this page, where it says practical exam when and where. You can specify which location you want, Northern California or Southern California, and what month you're planning to take the exam. So if you're looking again at the RDA examination schedule, you decide which date and location you want to go to, and then you see the corresponding filing period. You figure out when you're going to apply, send your application in. You know what exam you're taking by putting it onto the exam application, and you wait to hear from the dental board. The cost for applying initially here is $80. That $80 includes a $20 non-refundable application fee and a $60 fee for the practical exam. Your fees for the written exams will come in later. With your application, you need to submit proof of eligibility. So that would be a copy of your certificate of completing a board-approved program, if you have that copy. If you don't have that copy, someone from the school may be able to sign your application for you, but then they would need to verify with the dental board that you actually are eligible 30 days before the exam. Or if you're using the application qualifying by work experience, your dentist would need to sign that application. The 3 exams you're going to be taking are the practical exam, which I'll talk further about in a minute, and then 2 other exams, the written law and ethics exam and the RDA clinical exam. Notice here that the written law and ethics exam is $23 and the clinical written exam is $43. These tests are offered at PSI testing centers, and you would pay for them after having received confirmation that your initial application was accepted by the dental board. Some other facts about the written exams. Once you have sent in your initial application to start the process rolling, and that application was based on the practical exam dates, you're going to wait to receive notification from the dental board that they've accepted your application and you are eligible. Once you receive that information back, they will also include information on the written exams. You can check out the website listed here, www.psiexams.com. Pay the fees and schedule your exams, and you can either take them together or separate. You decide how you want to do that. They are computerized tests. The locations for the exams are on the PSI website listed above. So you can choose which location works for you and schedule the best time that works for you for these written exams. The results are usually given to you right then and there. So after you take the exams, they usually tell you whether or not you passed. Now, if you're not sure you're ready to pass these written exams, there are a number of places you can get review information about the exams to help you prepare. There's also a number of online classes. If you go to www.rdakits.com, they have a written review manual and an online class that goes with the manual. You can either purchase them together or separate, and that will help you to pass these 2 written exams. The main thing that we do as RDA4U is we get you ready for the practical exam, and we only go to San Francisco. But if you're watching this or listening to this podcast and are planning to take the Southern California exams, you would need to rent a kit and take a preparatory class from someone down in Southern California. So for the practical exam, which is the main thing we're going to focus on here, the practical procedures, there are 3. You're going to do the temporary filling or temporary restoration on tooth number 19 or 30, depending on which test you're taking. If you're taking the August exam or the February exam, you would be testing on tooth number 19. If you are taking the November or April exams, you would be testing on tooth number 30. You also do a temporary crown on tooth number 8 and cement that temporary crown. In Northern California, where we rent kits, the exam is given at UCSF. So here's what it looks like, the University of California, San Francisco. It's on 707 Parnassus, and I would encourage you to be sure to know where you're going prior to the test date and time. If you arrive late, they will typically not allow you into the exam. You want to make sure you know where you're going, scout out the parking, be prepared, and be there early. There are 3 different test times you're going to get. You're going to get either 7 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock in the morning, or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The test is offered 3 times a day and typically 2 days during each exam cycle, both Saturday and Sunday. You want to make sure that you're there at least an hour before the exam starts. So you have plenty of time to find us, pick up your kit, go through it, make sure you have everything you need, and get into the test on time. A few things to remember. You want to make sure that you wear an OSHA-approved uniform or attire. That means you do need to wear a scrub, and you need to wear either a lab coat or a disposable gown or lab coat over the top, and it has to be tight at the neck and tight at the wrists, as you see here in this picture. You do not need to wear booties on your shoes. You also need to bring your valid photo ID, and I would also bring the test date and time that you're going to be testing. When the dental board sends you information back, they will send you this information in the mail, the date and time that you have been scheduled to test. So I would bring that form with you as well. They do not allow cell phones into the exam, so we have a few options as far as that's concerned. You can either leave it with the people that you are coming with, leave it locked in your car, or you can leave it with us during the exam, and we'll give it back to you when the exam is over. Make sure you have plenty of money for your toll, for the bridges, your toll fees. For parking, the best parking is behind the dental building. It's $2.50 a day, whereas if you park across the street in the parking structure, I believe it's $10 or $15, and there's limited parking on the streets. There's no smoking during the testing time, and there's no leaving the test for any reason other than an emergency. You have to go to the restroom or some kind of emergency. They would escort you out during the test, but be prepared for a 3-hour testing period. Some information about our kit rentals. RDA4U is one of a number of companies that rents all the supplies and materials you need to take the exam. Now, you wouldn't have to rent a kit from anybody if you don't want to. You can provide all of these supplies and materials yourself. The challenge to that is, even if you're working in an office where you can use some of their products and gather all this together yourself, you have to have the right typodont, you have to provide the tooth that you're working on, you have to provide a Dremel or handpiece, and it has to be a battery operated one because they will not allow you to use their hoses and compressor for connectable handpieces. So there's just a lot of challenges to bringing all your own supplies and materials, and the worst thing that could happen would be if you forget a critical item. Nobody would be there to help you and give you what you need. So for example, you're putting your whole kit together and you accidentally forget your IRM. Well, That would be a huge thing. You would not be able to take the test without it. Nobody would be there to help you. This is where kit rental companies come in. We bring all of the supplies and materials to the exam and we'll meet you at the test. You pick up your kit from us with all of the supplies in there. You use it for the test and you bring it back to us when you're done. We have some specific things with our kits that we really find helpful for our students. The first thing is that you have a choice of 2 different size typodonts. You have a larger one and a smaller one, whichever you prefer. And we do encourage you, whatever you used in school or in our prep class, that you would ask for that when you check in with us at the exam. One of the things that we do for you is we already take the impression for you on the typodont. So as you can see in the picture below, an impression's already done, and it's done on the typodont that you will be using for the exam. New impressions are made for each exam, and you can make your own if you would like to. So you can take a number of impressions in with you to the exam, one that we've done and one that you've done, and use whichever you prefer. We do give you plenty of mixing tips for the auto mix gun for your acrylic. You'll find that we give you plenty, and if you're a nervous Nelly and you absolutely need more in order to make you feel better to go in, we'll give you more, but you have a limited amount of time, again 90 minutes to do these 3 procedures. You certainly don't have time to do a whole lot of crowns. We are the only kit rental company that we know of that offers 2 Dremels, and we do give you 2 Dremels with each kit. The reason for that is so that if one battery dies, you have a backup immediately, whereas the other kit rental companies, if your battery were to die during the test, you would need to go back to the second floor where we usually are and grab another Dremel and go back to the test, and of course that's all during your test time. Another special feature that we have is that we offer 2 different types of matrix bands, the universal and the MOD, so you can use whichever one you prefer there. We also put in temp bond, Unidose temp bond, into your kit to cement on your temporary crown. Real easy to use. You cut it open, you mix the parts A and B together, and real easy to use to cement your temporary crown. Again, you'll find us on the second floor. You'll see here there's Pam is pictured there, and Sandy, and then Tammy and myself, Melody. And again, you'll find us on the second floor. Once you pick up your kit from us, you go through it and make sure you have everything you need. You're going to check for the prepared tooth, 19 or 30, depending on what you're going to be testing on. You're going to check and make sure that you've got the unprepped number 8 in the tooth. The prepped number 8 will be given to you during the test. And let us know if there's anything additional you want. You want more 2x2s, you know, whatever. There's something missing in your kit. This is your test. You want to get there extra early and just make sure you're totally prepared. After you're done checking the kit, you have the option to watch a how-to video. If you'd like to, we have created a video on how to take the RDA exam, and we are the only kit rental company, again, that we know of that offers the how-to video and have it set up for you to watch prior to the test just to refresh your memory on how to take the exam. During the test, you're going to, as soon as you get into the test, you're going to set up your typodont onto the bench mount, and the test looks something like this, or testing site looks something like this picture here. It is on the 4th floor. You're going to check in, show your valid photo ID. Again, no cell phones. Mount your typodont on the bench mount, and be ready for the test to start. You will be given 90 minutes to do all 3 procedures, and they'll tell you when the time starts and ends and give you a couple time limit warnings in between. Now, what are you going to do if you run out of materials, you break an instrument, the lingual of your temporary crown is too thin? All of those things, you have to have a game plan ahead of time so that you know what you're going to do during the test if something goes wrong. Because Murphy's Law, if there's anything can go wrong, it will go wrong, or something like that. It'll be just your luck. So you want to be prepared and have a game plan and know what you're going to do if and when something goes wrong. Again, you cannot leave the test site without permission. And when the time is up, the 90 minutes is up, they'll escort you out of that room and put you into a holding room when the examiners go in and examine your procedures. And then they will let you back in to pick up your kit, and you'll bring it back to us on the 2nd floor, and you'll wait for your results. They say 4 to 6 weeks. Sometimes it takes that long, but usually it only takes a couple weeks for you to get your results in the mail. When you return your kit to us on the 2nd floor, we're going to clean it for you and say goodbye and good luck. No worries, you don't need to clean anything. We'll take care of it for you. We know you want to get out of there. It's stressful, and you're ready to go, so we'll take care of the cleaning for you. The cost of the kit rental is $125. All supplies and materials are included. You do need to wear scrubs and that lab coat, which I already talked about, but we do provide gloves, mask, and goggles, and everything else you see here in the kit. If you are not ready to take and pass the practical exam, we do offer a preparatory class, and many people find it very, very helpful to take this. It's a lot's riding on you passing this exam, and if you are not totally prepared to take it, it is well worth the time, effort, energy, and money to take a prep class and make sure that you are totally prepared. We always offer it the weekend before each exam here in Sacramento. It is a full day prep class. You will get familiar with the kits that we rent for the exam. We do use the same kits, and so you'll get familiar with where everything is in the exam. We'll show you that how-to video at the prep class, and we give you lots of practice time to practice the procedures. We have a very small instructor to student ratio, so you have an instructor at your table of 6 or 8 candidates, and you'll get lots of one-on-one help. And then at the end of the day, we give you a mock test to see how you would do if you were really at the exam. The cost of the prep class is $260 without the kit rental, but if you do the review class and rent the kit together, you get a $60 discount. So the cost for both together is $325. So how do you make your reservations? You can go online as easiest. Go to RDA4U.net and you can reserve online real easy. It goes through PayPal and with a credit card, and you will get a confirmation email back to you within 24 hours of reserving. You can also call our phone number, as you see listed there, 916-206-6752, and make your reservation over the phone. Usually Tammy will answer that phone, or sometimes I do. You can also mail money order in to the address you see there, 2810 Seton Hill Court in Sacramento. You can reserve anytime. The earlier the better. We'll hold your reservation for whichever test you're taking. You can also email us at RDA4U@yahoo.com if you have any questions or comments. You can also see us on Facebook at RDA4U. Call us at any time with any questions that you may have if I didn't answer them here in this podcast. We wish you all of the best for a wonderful and prosperous career in dentistry, and we hope to be a pivotal part of that process, helping you become an RDA.